look, a very popular mainstream Marvel movie that will probably attract viewers to this video. Let's talk about whatever the hell this is first. Brand New Cherry Flavor is a new miniseries on Netflix from creators Nick Antosca and Lenore Zion, who work together as writers for Channel Zero, and is based on the book by Todd Grimson. Oh, before I start, I just want to say, no, this show is not in black and white. The reason any footage from it in this video looks that way is because recently I've gotten a few false copyright claims from Netflix. They have since released them after I disputed, but from now on I'm making any video from them in black and white just to avoid that trouble. If this still keeps happening, I might stop using footage from them altogether like I was forced to do with Warner Brothers and Universal. But enough about my personal YouTube inconveniences, let's talk about the show. So it takes place in Hollywood in the early 90s and a new director wants to break out onto the scene. But a major producer stole her idea and now she turns to some weird lady to put a curse on him as revenge, and it spirals out of control for both parties involved. I decided to watch it rather than just add it to my list and then find it months later and ask what the hell is that, because I was intrigued by internet buzz that compared it to David Lynch and David Cronenberg. And sure enough, it was full of surrealism and body horror. Not as surreal as something like Eraserhead or even Mulholland Drive. It's just when the magic comes in, things get a little bizarre, especially in the second half. Yes, if Cronenberg made Twin Peaks, it might look something like this. I mean, at the end of the first episode, the lead character starts vomiting kittens. And when she says he wants to stop, the alternative is even more Cronenberg. Oh yeah, and did I mention that there are zombies? And they never even explain what the title has to do with anything that's going on? But it is at least intriguing. It's the kind of out-of-the-box show that can only come out of the era of streaming. It's definitely bizarre and at times very gruesome, but its take on surreal horror is very satisfying for those who are into that. By the end, they even got me to care for the evil producer. Don't get me wrong, he's a terrible person with very few, if any, redeeming values, but in the last few episodes, it's just everything he's been through, man. That being said, the ending is maybe a little underwhelming. But until then, it's a good horror drama that undoubtedly takes risks. These risks might turn some people off, but if this sounds like something you'd be into, it'll probably satisfy.
Cherry Coke, just out and outrageous.
Cherry Coca-Cola.
I remember something. What is it, Rita? What is it? What do you see? Mulholland Drive. Mulholland Drive? That's where I was going.
Diane, the car's waiting. You coming?
Well, this is going to be an awkward transition. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the newest movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from Destin Daniel Cretton, director of Short Term 12 and Just Mercy, who also wrote it along with Dave Callaham and Andrew Lanham. It holds the distinction of being the first superhero movie to have an Asian lead, a feat that can only have happened in today's world, when Disney wants to make money in China. This one has more of a martial arts movie feel to it, and its strengths lie in the fight sequences, which are very thrilling and feel like something we haven't seen in a superhero movie before, especially in the first 2/3 or so. In the last act it does kind of turn into the usual big CGI Marvel climax, but even that is above average for the franchise. It shows more fantasy elements that give a different feel. It also has a good amount of humor, including the return of a certain character who steals the show whenever he's introduced. Honestly, that character is used much better here than in what I remember of his or her previous movie. But despite the great action, it still can't help but feel like more of the same from Marvel. Maybe I'm just getting over the franchise. Anyway, the writing's better than Black Widow or Captain Marvel, but not by much. I missed my chance to make a video about either of those, but here's what I thought. They were okay, but pretty bland. They both get 3 stars. Kinda sucks that Marvel's female superheroes can't get a great movie. I heard WandaVision was pretty good and obviously differentiated itself from other Marvel properties in ways that those movies couldn't, but I don't have Disney Plus, so in my eyes, Marvel doesn't take risks with female characters. Where was I? Oh yeah. Unlike those movies, Shang-Chi differentiates itself at least a little with its martial arts and fantasy. It's an otherwise forgettable movie with great action, and that action is more than enough to give it an extra half star. Or actually, in this case...